Good morning, fellow pilgrims. It's shortly before noon, so it's still morning. So greetings, and I hope you are well. As I indicated on Monday, I've been giving some thought to the second half of our semester together. I want to make sure that we accomplish the purposes and outcomes of the course, provide sufficient time for your reflection, and provide enough time for the work you have to do to get done. I spent the last few days thinking this through, and my thinking has resulted in a revised calendar. It's not a huge revision, but it has some changes, and I want to call those to your attention. You can get that calendar on Canvas. I'll post it there along with this video and the manuscript from this video, as well as, I think that's all that you'll need. For the rest of the semester, though, be sure that you're using the revised calendar so that we're all on the same base and nobody's surprised. We will continue to walk and reflect on the labyrinth. In fact, I invite you to reflect even more seriously and deeply about this really important spiritual, metaphorical, imaginative journey. We will continue to watch and respond to the way that we started very briefly on Monday, and continue to reflect on Fowler's stages of faith development as reflected in that film. You're still responsible for a presentation to class that reflects both the contents of the book you've selected and the development and implementation of a spiritual practice that grows organically out of the reading, and we together will be led by you through that practice. I want to call your attention also to a couple of other changes that are reflected in the calendar. We don't have time to complete and discuss all the readings in the text, so I have selected 3 that I think are strategic. You'll see those on the calendar. They're named, and the page number that is there is the first page of the essay. And of course, I expect you to read each of those wholly. You'll see those on the calendar. Please be sure to read each of those in advance of the designated Monday. I encourage you also to give some thought to the reflection questions that I have provided you on several of the PowerPoints that I've presented in class, and that you will now find all of them on Canvas. Note also the use of the noun text, the return of the prodigal. We will address this book during the last class day and the finals period. Please be sure you hear me about that. The last class day and the finals designated period. I'd hope to work this into a off-campus, away from the normal places, retreat-centered, but that just doesn't seem to be working out. It seems to be impossible for one reason or another. Therefore, we'll retreat into our classroom. It will be a very different approach. It will be a retreat setting and process, but I think a good one that will help us end the course well. But please be sure that you have finished The Return of the Prodigal by Henry Nouwen before you come to class on the 2nd of December. I've added one thing to our processing. This is one of the things that has resulted from my thinking about where we are and where we might be, and how to build a connection between all that we've talked about and looked at and your future. There's nothing you have to do about that. It'll be done in class. Like the life map, it will be a directed activity that we will do together in class, resulting in some pretty significant, potentially pretty significant outcomes. As you look at the calendar, you'll see that class is beginning November the 4th through November the 25th, have student presentation in the plan for the day. Each of you will need to select one of those sessions for your presentation. My preference is that there be one student presentation per each of those class times. I'm flexible on that if there's good reason, but you should send your request to me via email as soon as possible, and I will set your requested date on a first-come, first-served basis. The sooner you get it in, the sooner you're assured of the time that you will present. I wish I could have covered all of this with you in person, but since we will be engaged this coming Monday in the Newell lectures, this seems to be the most effective way to get the information to you in a timely way. Please feel free to text me or write me any questions you have. I'll do my best to answer and clarify. So, until Monday, when I'll see you at the Miller Chapel, no labyrinth on Monday for the Newell lectures on Job. I'm not requiring you to produce anything based on these lectures. I hope you will watch and listen in the context of our course. There are some things that I infer at any rate from the subjects that might be applicable to what we're doing or trying to do. But we will spend some time on the 28th talking about the lectures. So, see you on Monday. I hope you are all well. I hope you all stay well. And I wish you blessings for your journey. Bye-bye.